That's the only thing you can control, is when you put on the trade and you do the best you can based on your rules. And then if it still doesn't play out, it doesn't mean it wasn't a good trade. It just didn't work that time. Make sure you follow your rules so you don't have any big losses. We've been doing that religiously recently.
Happy trading!
One DTE. And we're going to do the same process that we normally do. We're going to go over this really fast. So when we're executing one DTE trades and zero DTE trades, we're looking at the VIX to be able to determine what is the 1 day percentage move. So this VIX is actually as near as highs on the session now. We got the 14.7 divided by the 16. That is about 0.88%. So just under 1%. So still the volatility is low across the board. So we're not expecting big moves. If you can remember, at times last year, we were expecting 2-3% moves in 1 day. That's how volatile the markets were. Now we're expecting things that is under 1%. And you can see that's been the case today. We are definitely under 1% on this S&P 500. We're under a 0.5% at this point. So now, once we've determined that, what we want to do is look at the expected move on your platform. On the TastyTrade platform, it's saying just under 19, plus or minus 19 points. That's what expected, where it's expected to expire at from this current price right now, plus or minus 19. I also like to look at the straddle price, and the straddle price is telling us 21. So I normally go with this straddle price here, down here, instead of this one. You can go with either or. TastyTrade, their formula is probably, according to their research, better than this straddle price, and it's more closer to that 1 standard deviation. But let's go. I'm going to go with the straddle price for now. Might have to come into the TastyTrade one, because I normally want to do 2 times the expected move. So if we're going with this 21 here, we want to go 21 times 2. We got the 42. And so what we're going to do is take this 42 and we're going to subtract it from here, and we're going to add it to there. Okay? So I'm going to hit clear here, and I'm going to say, I'm going to take the 43.33 plus 42. That's going to take me to the 43.75, right? And that's here. That's 2 times the expected move. If we do a 20-point wide spread, it's going to look similar to that there. And if we take that 43.33 minus 42, that's going to take us to 42.91. So basically 42.90. That's like an 8 delta. As you can see, the put side is getting a little bit more elevated, and that's the 20-point wide spread there. So we're getting about 130 to do this trade. We're 2 times the expected move on both sides based on the straddle expected move. And if we do a percentage move, I'm going to send this here in just a second. If we do the percentage move, this is the one I care about right now on the put side. You can also do it on the call side. We take that 42.90 minus this number here divided by this number. So that just say 43.33. That's the number we were going by, divided by 43.33. And that's going to be about a 1% move, right? So we're outside. The 2 times the expected move is about 1%. The VIX cash expected move based on the rule of 16 was just under 1% at 0.88. So now we are outside of that expected move on both sides. So we just lost 5 cents by yapping, but we're going to see if we can get filled here, and we're going to send this at 125, and we're going to, and that is going to be the 1 DTE trade. We're going to give it a little second here. We're going to count to 5 and see what they give us, right? So we got 1, and I used the 5 count just to give myself a chance to let things play out, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and no love there, as we have just hit the lows of the session. As you can see, we just dropped another point or so, and it's not gaining enough. The reason why I haven't changed this yet, I expected the volatility to increase and we get filled on this trade here because of that put side. But if we go and we just do a replace order here, you can see that the call side is still at the 43.75. That's an 8 delta still, if that's correct. And then you have this put side is still an 8 delta. So what I'm going to do, because we only got 4 minutes left in the trading session, as you can see up there, I'm going to drop this down to 120, and we're going to see if we get filled. This move right now is giving me hesitation, right? It's giving, there we go. So it gave me hesitation because we just dropped to our lows of the session at this point, right? Just as the market kind of came to the, and we tried to wait, you guys. We waited all the way until what, 9 minutes or before the close or something like that, 8 minutes before the close, before we decided to put this trade on, because the market has been so flat. We got burnt in this market recently. We wanted to see and wait to be able to place our bet as long as we possibly can, right? If we were horse bettors, we looked at the horses as long as we can, and we tried to determine, which horse was going to, come out of the starting blocks the fastest, and potentially, win. In this case, we're trying to get as far away as possible on both sides, so that it would have to be a big move, a two-time the expected move that hurt us on the put side, and a two-time the expected move that hurt us on the call side. And so I think it's a good bet. You can only strategically place your trades as best you can, and then after that the market's going to dictate what happens. We've been doing really well on these 1 DTE trades. I think this one's going to go well also. We'll throw this in Discord in a second, but this is the trade, the 42.90, 42.70 on the put side, and the 43.75, 43.95 on the call side. We collected 125. The market has come off the lows a little bit, 2 points up. If we look at this price right now, it's basically 125. So perfect. I think we did a good job. And that's the only thing you can control, is when you put on the trade and you do the best you can based on your rules. And then if it still doesn't play out, it doesn't mean it wasn't a good trade. It just didn't work that time. Make sure you follow your rules so you don't have any big losses. We've been doing that religiously recently with these 1 DTE trades, and we'll continue to do that so we can do well on these. All right, so that is what I wanted to talk about with this 1 DTE trade. We have about 1 minute to go before the market closes.